I love churro bhatura, and actually, I hate to admit it, but I love it with a really heavy red because it just brings that heaviness and density of both the dish and the wine together. So that's what I love.
Are you ready to try a glass of red wine with your favorite chole bhature or pair your palak paneer with a chardonnay tonight? The wine market in India is estimated to be worth $238 million. We Indians certainly love our wine. In fact, there are 10 million Indians who drink wine regularly, and wine volumes are only expected to grow over the next 5 years at the rate of 10% CAGR. Today we're going to find out about India's growing wine culture and why Indians will now be drinking more Australian wines. India's food and retail market is now the third largest in the world, valued at $950 billion and is expected to reach $1.4 trillion by 2030. India imported 10.8 billion of consumer-oriented food products, and the wine consumption rate increased in India by 29% in 2022 alone. The Australian Trade and Investment Commission, Austrade, has brought in the largest ever Australian wine delegation to India. 24 Australian wineries showcased their wines at Pro Wine Mumbai this year. We met with some of the key members of the Australian Trade and Investment Commission in India to know more.
The free trade agreement between Australia and India gives Indians the opportunity to have premium Australian wines at the most amazing prices. It's a great opportunity for Indians to try the best of Australian wines at the best price.
Australia has both entry-level wines all the way through up to premium level wines as well, depending on what the consumer is wanting. And the other thing is supported by this is the Australia-India Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, which enables the reduction in tariffs on wine bottles valued over $5 over the next 10 years, which is the first time that India has agreed to allow this to occur for any country in the world. Australia does have the largest share of the imported wine market. Admittedly, this is entry level, but it's great stuff. And we want to be able to show more great stuff to our Indian consumers. But it's most importantly to also know that from an Indian wine industry perspective, Australia is not here to compete. We're here to contribute, complement, and cooperate. And that's what we're trying to do by enabling sort of cooperation on regulatory and technical matters as well. So then we can assist in the growth of the Indian wine industry as well, because it's not just about Australia, it's also about Indian winemakers, Indian businesses. So because our tagline from our Australia-India Business Exchange is partnering for prosperity. It's not just about exports, it's actually also about the growth of the Indian hospitality sector. It's about the growth of the Indian hotel sector. It's about the growth of the Indian wine culture as well. And Australia has just so much in common with India that it's just a match made in heaven.
Australia was India's largest source of wine imports, with Australian exports increasing 34% on the previous year. Between September 2022 and September 2023, Australian wine producers exported 2.3 million litres of wine to India at a total value of $11.2 million. With vineyards popping in Nasik and across India, the popularity of wine tourism, wine tastings, and annual wine festivals have helped in increasing awareness, evolving tastes, and the spread of wine culture in India.
One of my favourite family holidays over last year was actually to go up to the Indian winemaking country, to Nasik, to go and view the wonderful and meet our wonderful friends from Shandong, from Sula, from Good Drop Wines, from Balinese as well, and be able to go and take my family around the countryside to be able to see the wonderful Indian wine industry grow and from a small base into something which is flourishing now, which is just so fantastic. There are a lot of Indians that have come to Australia for international education, for tourism, for business as well, and they're actually able to go and taste the wines in the Yarra Valley, in Rutherglen, in Barossa Valley, in McLaren Vale, as well as the Hunter Valley and the Orange Mudgee country, and don't forget the cool climate country of Murray Bateman near Canberra. So the fact is that we have globalisation, we have a more internationally aware population, and the fact that we're able to contribute to that enables a great story for both Indian and Australian wines alike. So it's not about competition, it's actually about partnering for prosperity, moving forward.
We Indians are value conscious consumers, so this dip in the price of imported wines will definitely encourage us to try out more Australian wines in the coming months. In fact, if you've ever tried Jacob's Creek from your local wine shop, you might be surprised to know that this wine is imported from Australia, even though the price point of this entry-level wine is close to that of Indian wines. But how will you pair your favorite desi food with a perfect glass of wine? We've got you covered. Here are few of our favorite Indian dishes with complementary wine pairings that you can try out.
A Chardonnay that goes with a palak paneer, or a full rich red that goes with a milk makhni, as well as a dal makhni, a reason that might go with a golden fish curry. The diversity of Australian wines and the diversity of Indian food, again, a match made in heaven.